Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. And today we're going to do the final installment overview of Jonah, the book of Jonah. This is the fourth chapter. Quick synopsis of chapters 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 1, the Lord told him to go into Nineveh and say this one thing to them. Instead, he got on a ship and tried to go to Tarshish. Chapter 2, after getting swallowed up by a fish in chapter 1, he was praying to the Lord to get up out that thing. And the Lord did listen to him. And ultimately, the fish spit him out to where he was supposed to be. Alright? And in chapter 3, he went in to go preach the word that the Lord said unto him, even though he kind of did it in his own manner. And the Lord repented of the people in Nineveh because they started fasting and putting ashes and sackcloth and things of that nature, and it angered Jonah. And that's where we jump into chapter 4, where it continued and Jonah was continually displeased, and because what he said didn't happen. All right. So if you want to catch up, you can watch. I got the book of Jonah on my playlist and on my homepage, and you can check that out. So without further ado, this is Jonah chapter 4 and 1. All right. So it says, "But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry." Okay. Verse 2, "And he prayed unto the Lord, Yahweh, and said, I pray thee, O Yahweh, was not this my saying, when I was yet in my country? Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish, for I knew that thou art a gracious power, and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repentest thee of the evil." All right. He was just Jonah 4 and 2. He was just referring back to Jonah the first chapter, where he actually got on the ship and fled after he had heard that word that came unto him. All right. So verse 3 says, "Therefore now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live." All right. So let me get a quick precept to that. And this won't be a long lesson because Jonah chapter 4 is pretty straight to the point. This is Jonah chapter 6. Job, Salakia, chapter 6 and 8 says, "Oh, that I might have my request." And what was Jonah's request? Because he was so displeased, he says, I beseech thee, all right, my life from, take, I beseech thee, my life from me. That was his request to the Lord. Okay. It says, "Oh, that I might have my request, and that the Most High would grant me the thing that I long for." And we know when we read about Job, he was going through some bullshit, And when you read, I think, Job chapter 3, he curses his birth. And he's like, "I'd rather not be born," But he ultimately kept his integrity. Jonah had some mishaps when you read it. And Jonah was, he was a man of the Lord, but hey, we all slip up. He was a little disobedient, but at the end of the day, the Lord still showed his mercy to him, even through his faults and mishaps and disobedience. The Lord is still willing to wink at that ignorance that you have. He did the same thing to Jonah, and he ultimately made Jonah do what he wanted him to do, even though Jonah was kicking against the pricks. Okay? It says, verse 9, "Even that it would please the Most High to destroy me, that he would let loose his hand and cut me off." All right. So going back, Jonah chapter 4 and 3, "Therefore now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live." Jonah was so pissed. He was so mad. But the next verse is gonna clarify some things. But he was so mad because what he said in chapter 3, and I'm gonna read it real quick. Salaki. Jonah chapter 3. Matter of fact, I'll just go back on here. Jonah chapter 3 and 4. It says, And Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey, and he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. Now, from our last lesson, we understand what the Lord initially has said to him in chapter 1. He says, Arise, chapter 1, Jonah 1 and 2, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. He didn't say anything about 40 days, I'm going to destroy this place. Jonah said that. All right? That's not what the Lord told him. He just said, just tell them about their wickedness because they pissing me off over there. That's it. He didn't give him exact dates, exact time frames. The Lord never works like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, for our instance, okay? We don't know when these missiles are coming. We don't know when Jacob's trouble gonna hit. We just know it's coming. We know it's around the corner. But we're not saying, oh, in 50 days, Esau gonna make his move. We're not saying that. All right? The Lord does not work on our time, especially out of our mouth. It's like, yeah, the Lord gonna come down here in 40 days and beat your ass. The Lord probably would look at you like, what? I'm not taking no type of commandment from you, so I ain't gonna sit here and wait 40 days because you said so. No, I'm gonna do it on my own time. That's simple. It's like, who are you to give exact pinpoints to when the Lord is gonna do something? The Lord is gonna do what he does on his time. We just gotta sit back and wait. So he was kind of upset because he said this, but it didn't happen. All right? I'm going to get a precept in Deuteronomy 18. I had brought this out in the last one. Deuteronomy 18 and 22 says, When a prophet speaketh, and I'm not saying that Jonah was a wicked individual. Jonah was a man of the Lord. You can read about Jonah in 2 Kings 14 to 25 as well. He was a prophet of the Lord, and the Lord used him as a vessel. You just have your mistakes. Simple. Deuteronomy 18 and 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing following not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. And the Lord did not speak to Jonah in chapter 1 saying 40 days. He didn't. From what we get from these scrolls, that's not what happened. Now, we weren't physically there. We weren't physically in the mind of Jonah or hearing the voice all the way back then. We're not, but we're going off of what we have today. All right? So, caveat, I'm not, saying, but I'm just saying what the scriptures say. The scripture in Jonah, the first chapter, second verse, the Lord did not say 40 days. But Jonah still, in turn, went and said 40 days. That's why he was so irritated, because it didn't happen. All right, so back to Jonah chapter 4. It says, Therefore now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. Verse 4, Then said the Lord, Doest thou well to be angry? All right, doest thou well to be angry? Meaning, is this doing you any good to be mad right now? Or is it right for you to be angry right now? Is this a good time to be angry? Like, you're just a messenger. That's it. I just sent you to send a message. Don't take it personal. I'm using you. So is it right for you to be angry? Is it doing you justice to be angry right now? No. To answer that. Jonah was throwing a hissy fit. Real shit. Verse 5. So it says, so Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city. And there made him a booth and sat under it, in the shadow, till he might see what would become of the city. Man, literally Jonah made a little shack. All right. When that booth is like a shelter. All right. And when it says he sat under in it, the shadow, he sat under the shade on the east side of the city to see when the Lord is going to destroy this thing. You know, when the Lord is going to destroy it. He's throwing a little fit. Like real talk. So verse 6, it says, I'll just keep that up. And the Lord power prepared a groud or grood, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's groud, yeah, grood, something like that. And made it to cover up, and made it to come up over Jonah. So it's like a big, like vine plant. All right, might as well get that word. That's a good one. It's Koyak Yuan. A plant, perhaps a groud, a grood, castor oil plant, bottled grood. So it says, or groud. It says a tall this is good right here. It says a tall biennial, I'm saying that totally wrong, plant, still cultivated in our gardens, beautiful and quick growing. So we know this plant was very quick growing. It says with a soft and succulent stalk, a slight injury of which will cause the plant to die. Remember this. A slight injury will cause the plant to die. Okay? I'm going to pull up Jonah chapter 4 on this because I want to keep that up. All right. So it says verse 7. So it made Jonah really happy that the Lord made that plant to come over him to give him more shade. All right. When it says he was exceedingly glad, that means he rejoiced with a great joy. All right. He rejoiced with a great joy because he was in grief, because he's throwing a little fit. He was, meaning his misery. It says to deliver him from his misery. And even verse 6 shows you the compassion that the Lord has for us. He still, even though Jonah ran away from him, didn't say everything or add a little bit to what the Lord told him to do. Even though Jonah started getting mad, he still was there to comfort him and had some type of compassion for him. He's like, at the end of the day, you still are my servant and you still doing my bidding. All right. That shows you the long suffering and the patience that the Lord has with us. Don't take advantage of it. All right. So verse 7, it says, but the Most High prepared a worm when the morning rose the next day and smote the ground that it withered. All right. So going back to that word, a slight injury of which will cause the plant to die. So this plant is very delicate. Probably a big plant, but very delicate. And a simple small worm slightly injured it and caused the plant to die. All right. It's a beautiful plant, giving him shade and everything. All right. And at this point, the Lord is teaching him a lesson. After verse 4, the Lord was like, you think it's right for you? All right, bet. I'm about to teach you a lesson. So the Lord is teaching Jonah a lesson right now. Okay. Verse 7. Okay, I read that. Verse 8. And it came to pass when the sun did arise that the Most High prepared a vehement east wind. And the sun beat upon the head of Jonah, making him what again? Grief. Making him miserable again. That he fainted. Now, when you go into the fainted, it means it made him very weak. He grew faint. He was, the sun drains energy from you. And he says, and he relapsed again and went back to what he said up here. He says, and wished in himself to die. So in his head, it's like, oh my gosh. I'll be so hot. You be like, golly. In your head, you be like, I swear I'm about to die if I don't get some water splashed in my face right now. That's how Jonah felt. The Lord was teaching him a lesson and said, is it better for me to die than to live? He said that into his head. He's like, man, I don't know what's better right now. If I just fall over and die, or I don't know. He was contemplating in his head. The Lord had him going in circles. But the Lord is simply teaching him a lesson. All right. So verse 9, it says, and the Most High said to Jonah, doest thou well to be angry for the ground? Or the ground? He says, so pretty much, is it right for you to be angry over this plant? You mad that the plant withered away? Is it just for you to be mad that this plant went away? And he said, I do well to be angry, even unto death. Man, the Lord got to Jonah, man. All right. Then said the Lord, thou hast had pity on the ground for which thou hast not labored. All right. So it's like you had pity on the ground for which thou hast not. You didn't put this plant up. Neither madest it grow. You didn't make this plant grow. I did. Which come up in the night and perish in the night. That goes to show you that this plant was a quick growing plant. Like it says, beautiful and quick growing. All right. And perishing in the night. And should I not spare Nineveh, that great city, wherein are more than 60,000 persons? That's 120,000 people that cannot discern between their right hand and their left hand, and also much cattle. This is a lesson. It's mercy. It's long suffering. It's patience. Because at the end of the day, Nineveh was destroyed during the time of Tobit. It just wasn't the time yet. The prophecy that Jonah went to go prophesy into Nineveh happened at the end of the day. So is it right for you to be mad because the Lord hasn't done what you wanted him to do right then and there? You see what I'm saying? This is the lesson he was trying to teach Jonah. Look, you need as much as you tell me I'm a merciful power, I'm slow to anger, of great kindness and repentance of evil, you need to show those same attributes. You see? And that goes on to us today as well. We need to show the same. Look, Babylon ain't going to be... me personally, I wish Babylon was destroyed yesterday. But is that up to me? No. Am I going to get mad at the Lord for that? Is it right for me to be angry? No. It's not. That's why you got to sit back and wait for the Lord to do his thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to probably benefit you in the long run. Lord willing, you stay in this. You see what I'm saying? So it's just sit back and wait. All right? I know one of the brothers, one of the bros in my camp, his name, the brother, I was about to say my name, Haratazah, in our camp, he did a lesson. He said, just play your part in this movie. Play your part in this movie, man. That's it. You're an actor. All right? And you're not an actor. You're actually this individual in the script. You're the character in the script because the word actor goes back to hypocrisy. All right? You're the actual character in this script. You're the actual character in this script. And you're playing something out that the Lord wants you to play out. You have a specific role in that movie. Just fall in line with it. Be patient. Don't be mad when something doesn't happen. The world does not revolve around you. That is a saying that's said by everybody. Sounds cliche, but it's true. It doesn't revolve around you. All right? You're just a piece of the puzzle. Put yourself in that piece and lock it in. And stick to your role in this movie. All right? It's the same thing that Jonah was trying to be, the Lord was teaching Jonah. Look, man, is it right for you to be angry? There's 120,000 people in this place. You want it to be destroyed in 40 days. Well, I'm gonna work on my time. You just gotta be patient with it. So that's it. It's a learning lesson. It was a learning lesson for Jonah. It's a learning lesson for us, especially the ones who get impatient in this thing. If you feel like you're getting impatient, read that chapter. Hey, you just gotta. Hey, it's the Lord's timing, and you gotta understand that He's the omnipotent, almighty power, and He's gonna work on His time. He could do what He wants. The scriptures even say it. All right. So, Lord willing, y'all are edified. That was just a quick synopsis of Jonah, the 4th chapter, to finish the complete series of the overview of Jonah. So I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Brother Kasha Kwala. Until next time, I want to say shalom.